Hi everybody. So it's been just over a year since I moved into the van, and I thought maybe I would give a more in-depth view of what it's like living in a van. Um, as I've mentioned before, I didn't move into a van because I wanted to move into a van. I was kind of forced into it. I got separated from my wife in June 11th of 2012, and I moved with my parents. Soon after moving with my parents, they told me that my dad said that he was retiring and moving away, and I had to find my own place. And since I'm still giving her, a considerable amount of money every week, it was pretty hard for me to find an apartment that was affordable. Even if I just got a one-bedroom apartment, or just a bedroom somewhere in some house. From what I've looked, from what I've seen, I could be paying $500–600 with utilities or plus utilities. So, that's a lot of money. So I looked around. My first instinct was to get a smaller mortgage, maybe a $20,000 or $30,000 mortgage, and buy a small house somewhere, even something I had to fix up myself. But unfortunately, I was denied a mortgage. So I started looking for properties that I could buy, that maybe I could build my own small house on. And pretty soon I came to the conclusion that I really couldn't do that, because laws in most states, especially over here where I work, prohibit such things. So I quickly give up on that idea. But from doing the search on small homes, I came across people living in vans, and and then an idea clicked, and I thought, why not? Why can't I live in a van? So I started doing searches on that, and started coming up with ideas. And then eventually in 2014, I bought this van, and I started doing the build while living in it, and coming here where I'm now on weekends to work on a van doing the build. So from day one, I can say that I had no problem sleeping in a van whatsoever. I kind of had a little bit of a hard time finding the right place the first day. I drove quite a few miles out of the way just to find a place, and when I got there, I couldn't really sleep there overnight. I could only sleep from 4 a.m. to 2 a.m. It was kind of a weird hour combination. But I set my alarm, and I got up before that time frame expired for me to stay there. So I just left. But that the issues with parking, or where to park, has gotten better and better as time moves on, and I don't have an issue with that anymore. I mean, I was never bothered. I was bothered twice. Once was last summer. I was parked out of the way by a Kmart in the shade, because I didn't have any of my vents yet. So I was parked in the shade, and at the end of the day it was getting dark, and just before I got in the van to to go to sleep for the night, I saw some lights behind me, and I'm like, oh no. So I looked, and I was already outside the van. I looked, and I saw a cop car. So I walked over to him and asked him, is everything okay? And he said, yeah, I was just wondering, what a van was doing all the way over here by itself. So I explained, I'm just in the shade, I'm about to leave. He said, all right, no problem, just checking. And the second time was actually over here at my house. Well, it's not going to be mine for much longer, but I was here in the middle of the night. I heard knocking, but not on the van, on the house itself. And there were two police officers. And so I came out, and it turned out that the community across from me had a problem with the white van. I don't know what they were doing. They never told me. And they were just checking out on me. But I told them, listen, I've lived here since 2009, and I've had the van for over 6 months. So they left, and they never contacted me again or anything. Those are the only issues with the police. Other than that, I adapted pretty quick. I know some people may have a hard time adapting. It's a small confined space, which I don't have a problem with. I had days, especially this past winter, where my work was canceled because of the weather, and where I was parked, I just stayed there the whole day, and then I stayed there the whole night, and then I got up the next day to go to work. I didn't move. I was perfectly fine inside. I had food, I had heat, I had the phone for entertainment. I was perfectly fine. I mean, some people may not be okay with that, but I'm perfectly fine. I got my new refrigerator here. As you see, it's working great. My food is cold all the time. I have cold drinks all the time. I don't have water all slushing inside the ice box from the ice melting. I have a nice bed, very comfortable to sleep on. I have the roof vents to give me fresh air, and I don't have to open the front windows anymore since I've installed these two front vents. I have all the cabinetry that I need. I have all the stuff that I need. My only issue right now is with the back where I have my bike. I have to organize that a little bit better because I'm getting the itch to ride my bike again, and I have so much stuff around the bike and in front of the bike that it's going to be a tremendous pain just to get the bike out to go for a bike ride. But obviously, if you are thinking of living in a van, know that whenever it's hot, like today it's mid 80s, almost 70% humidity. When it's hot and humid, you're going to be hot and humid unless you have a portable AC. When it's cold, you're going to be cold. But the great thing is that if you are determined to live this way like I am, I really don't have a choice, and this is my home now. Yeah, at times you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable. It may be a little hot, maybe a little cold, but you can fix that. If you're a little hot, park in the shade, have the vents running like I have now. I'm parked in full sun, and with my vents running, I can be in there very comfortably. Actually, I was there just now before I came out. If it's cold, you can have a propane heater like I do. I have a Mr. Body heater. It heats the van very nicely. At times it heats it too much. So you have to maybe turn it down or turn it off for a little bit and then turn it back on. You can put clothes on if it's cold. If it's hot, you can take clothes off. Obviously, you don't want to take too much off because then there could be a problem. um, I mean, I got everything I need in this van. I was living in this 2,700 foot square house. And I was working so much every weekend doing all the stuff around the house and spending so much money and so much work that I put in here. And it's just things. It's nothing else but things.